I am the Southern Poverty Law Patsy, LeBron James, an idiot Lakers superstar, anti-American, pro-woke, communist used to divide and conquer the United States.
LeBron James, the LA superstar, has now been exposed for his deadly stupidity, acting as a patsy for the Divide and Conquer Southern Poverty Law Center, the SPLC, that has promoted James's celebrity, contributed to his mega millions, advertised his so-called social activism, and highlighted him as a target for racial hate crimes. Now we learn that the SPLC similarly leverages Ku Klux Klan notables to justify their existence and raise millions of dollars from defrauded citizens and anti-American saboteurs. In 2017, when a racial slur was spray-painted on LeBron James's home in LA, the SPLC tracked and heralded the incident as part of its so-called racial hate monitoring service. The SPLC recognized James for his efforts to fight racism, including his work with More Than a Vote program to supposedly combat voter suppression. This was all fraud and anti-American organized crime favoring Democrats. The SPLC, along with LA Lakers owners, directed massive political campaign contributions to woke Democratic Party candidates through individuals in the organizational affiliates, according to data from Open Secrets and FEC filings that show a clear partisan tilt with zero Republican support. Jeannie Buss, the controlling Lakers owner and president, donated exclusively to Democrats. Mark Walter, the Lakers' current majority owner, similarly donated nearly exclusively to Democrats. This pro-communist socialist racket fomented and abused the racial divides in America. Black History Month in 2022, for example, featured LeBron James's and the SPLC's fight against racial hate, leveraging anti-Trump legacy media and mass media persuasion for so-called social activism. The SPLC generated or substantially contributed to the Great Divide, largely instigated by George Soros, one of the largest Democratic Party donors in history, funding progressive PACs, super PACs, district attorney races, and left-leaning causes such as men and women's sports. In fact, the SPLC is as racist and genocidal as any communist dictatorship on the planet, given that it has forcefully promoted deadly vaccinations, especially for African Americans who, due to socioeconomic barriers, are at greater risk of diseases. This was especially true during the COVID-19 pandemic, wherein the SPLC, alongside the NAACP, filed a federal administrative complaint against Mississippi, alleging inadequate plans for minority access to the Pfizer and Moderna mRNA vaccines. Despite the overwhelming evidence of scientific fraud in the manufacture, distribution, safety, and efficacy of these vaccines, and all the lies we the people were told by Dr. Fauci and his organized criminal Big Pharma cartel, the SPLC strongly defended all of its. They criticized Robert F. Kennedy Jr. for allegedly spreading misinformation regarding vaccination risks that could harm public health, including claims affecting ethnic minorities. They recalled the Tuskegee syphilis study as a root of vaccine hesitancy in Black communities, but recklessly neglected the truth about the lab origin of HIV/AIDS and the hepatitis B vaccines that transmitted that plague throughout Africa and the world, as evidenced in the definitive, heavily censored textbook in this field, Emerging Viruses, AIDS and Ebola, Nature Accident or Intentional, by this author. Stupid is as stupid does. LeBron James now in the NBA playoffs with his son Bronny James playing for one of the most anti-American, genocidal, and media-savvy enterprises in the NBA, the LA Lakers, a team that achieved near 100% vaccination rates among players and staff. Like Dr. Fauci, the SPLC, the NAACP, the CDC, FDA, and the WHO, the Lakers organization touted the mRNA vaccine propaganda.
And you retards believed me.
They lied about its safety and efficacy and killed millions.
COVID came from nature.
They mandated the vaccines for full-time front office employees. For players, they promoted it heavily. LeBron and many stars, including Anthony Davis, were vaccinated publicly. So no doubt, LeBron's son, NBA rookie Bronny, took the clot shot too. Subsequently, on July 24, 2023, Bronny collapsed during a USC practice session. It was later reported by the woke, lying, deceitful New York Times that he had suffered cardiac arrest due to a congenital heart defect, allegedly. No mention was ever made of the massive compounding scientific evidence linking these mRNA vaccines to sudden heart attacks among young, healthy athletes. Instead, even today, outrageous, deadly propaganda persists.
I oversaw the COVID virus investments and pandemic scheme. Epstein, Bill Gates, Leon Black, JP Morgan, and their cohorts in these crimes evidenced in the Epstein files.
For example, today, Grok XAI reported, quote, mRNA vaccines carry a rare risk of myocarditis, mostly mild, in young males, 1 to 10 per 100,000 doses depending on age and sex. But large surveillance shows no translation to increased SCA or SCD in athletes. COVID infection itself can cause myocarditis at comparable or higher rates. Grok cites the Journal of the American Medical Association Network with this link. In summary, continue, quote, rigorous surveillance from sports registries and health authorities shows stable or slightly lower numbers of events in the vaccine era, consistent with pre-pandemic trends. No evidence supports a vaccine-driven surge, end quote. This is deadly, unconscionable fraud. This crime of deadly public deception is exposed by simply reading Grok's JAMA network reference. Even the lead author, Matthew Oster, representing the CDC, admitted the contrary. Quote, based on passive surveillance reporting in the US, the risk of myocarditis after receiving mRNA-based COVID-19 vaccines was increased across multiple age and sex strata and was highest after the second vaccination dose in adolescent males and young men. End quote. Officials are only now, after 5 years, coming to terms with skyrocketing rates of mRNA vaccine-induced cancers. In short, we the people can no longer trust anything we read or hear on any media, especially the crap advertised by woke superstars and their racist supporters. They make fortunes from your gullibility. They act in favor of genocides, advancing racist, anti-American, pro-communist disinformation and misinformation. The SPLC agents and entities now being exposed have all been acting to divide and conquer we the people. Their media is stupefying, mind-controlling all of us. They destroy America from within, geopolitically, economically, and most importantly, by damaging people's health and safety most profitably for the drug cartel. If Black Lives Matter really so much to LeBron James, then he should admit being stupid, misguided, fooled, used, and abused to kill people. He should apologize for the deaths, social divisiveness, and anti-Americanism he has caused, especially impacting our nation's youth who look up to him as a role model.
I agreed to promote deadly COVID clot shots, stupidly believing it would help save Black lives. It was a con, and I apologize for my complicity.
I'm Dr. Leonard Horowitz. You can learn more about my works on drlenhorowitz.com, along with my reports to Congress on medicalveritas.org.